Hello again, this is Mrs. Beach. I'm going to show you today how to make some shapes out of the tubes that you have hopefully been practicing on. Hopefully you've kind of mastered that skill. So today we're going to start with some rolled shapes, things like these little coins. My kids also like to call them snail shells. So it's just a coiled tape roll. Also, we're going to talk about cones, and then also these little kind of flowery, I call them rosettes, but it's just a different version of that simple coin. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've made some tape rolls ahead of time so that I'll be ready. If you guys want to do this same thing, you can do that. And so I'm going to start out, like I said, with the shape that I call a coin. And basically this shape, what you do is you start at one end and you just start rolling. And as you roll, I like to try to make it so that one side is flat and then generally the other side ends up not being flat. And so you can see here, I'm kind of keeping mine so that the top edge stays in line every time I go around. Because tubes are not always symmetrical and they usually get bigger as you go, you can make your coin be concave or convex depending on which end you start on. So for example, if you start with the end that's smaller, then the middle of your coin will be like this one, where it curves in because the tube is getting bigger as you work your way out to the outer edges of the coin. So I generally like to tuck the end in just because it looks a little nicer, I think. But then you just do that. And so that is the coin. You just roll it up. So as I go along, I'm just going to start adding things to this shape that I have going here, this kind of pile, I guess. So all right, the last rolled shape is what I call a flattened coin. And to make this one, you basically start out as a regular coin. So you're going to make a little bit in the center here. And then what you do is you twist the tube as you roll. So I twist and I roll. So I'm just going to keep doing that as I go around. And I like this one. I think it kind of looks a bit like a rosette kind of flower. I've made a few things where I use these as like an accent. You can actually get tape in a variety of colors. And so I like to make flowers a lot, and I will use different colored tapes. And then I will make these to kind of stick in to different places because it kind of, has a kind of a neat shape and kind of texture, I guess, because of the twisting. But you just keep going with it until you get to the end. And then this one, because I'm going to hide the end kind of, if I can get to the end. Okay. And so then what I generally do is I just kind of tuck the end underneath. And so it gives you this nice kind of flowery looking shape. You can see I've got a couple of them over here too already. So that is what I call the flattened coin. Okay, the last shape I wanted to show you in these rolled shapes is a cone. It basically starts out as a coin that kind of goes a little off track, I guess. You start out with a coin in the middle. You can make it however big you want. Sometimes I make really big ones, and then I start adding extra tape to them to make the actual cone part. But so you're rolling and you're staying aligned, and then you're going to start offsetting your tape as you go around, and that will start forming your cone. So as long as you keep offsetting the same amount all the way around, your cone's going to be straight. But if you start kind of offsetting a different amount on each side, then it's going to start to curve. So if I offset close to one side and far away on the other, that's going to make my cone start to curve in the direction of the close side. So you can kind of see that starting here. Okay, the cones also sometimes tend to flatten out a little bit, and so all you have to do to keep them round is just stick your fingers inside there and play with them a little. So I'm going to go ahead and add another roll of tape here, tube of tape, I guess, and make this just a little bit bigger. So you can see this one's pretty easy to do. Most of the rolled ones are all pretty easy to do. I think the hardest part of this whole thing is mastering the tube. So once you've got that down, then I think you're good to go. So the next videos I'm going to make are going to be some other shapes that you can make using the tape. There's one that's showing you how to make these boxes like this. And then I have another one that will show you how to make the spirals. And then I'll do a couple that are just kind of special things. One of those things is a rose or a flower, different types of flowers you can make. And then the last one is going to be a stress ball. So I will get those up soon, hopefully, since we're all stuck at home. I have plenty of time to work on these right now. So so that's the three rolled elements, the coin, the rosette, and or flattened coin, and the cone. So I hope you're enjoying playing with some tape, and I will talk to you again later.